Attention, everybody. The views expressed on this show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. So without any further ado, it's the man with a plan.
And
Steve Mickey Mac McAllister and Brighter Living Live.
Thank you.
Tanner will be in here very shortly.
Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
Phew, it's been quite a morning already.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. You have to stop and catch your breath.
Yeah, it's been quite a few weeks, month.
My homemade hand sanitizer smells great.
Yes, it smells so. Rachel's gonna go, wow. Who have you been around? It's not who I've been around. It's what I've got.
It's a little thinner than most, but
it does the job.
Okay, so what I did was real quick.
Yes.
I have perfumer's alcohol that happens to have a little bit of frankincense and myrrh in it.
Right.
And perfumer's alcohol is 95% alcohol, which is more than enough to kill stuff. So what I did was, whenever this was almost gone, I put a little bit. I've got some 100% aloe vera gel, aloe gel.
Right.
Like 100% aloe gel.
Right. Go ahead.
We're live, by the way. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you can sit down.
You're all right. No, well, you can go get your coffee. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 And I put just a tiny bit of it in there because to keep it from being like real watery, or really liquidy, and then filled it the rest of the way up with 100%, pretty much 100% alcohol. Shook it up real hard, and then it settled again, and then I had to shake it up real hard again, and now, hand sanitizer. But you can smell the frankincense in it.
Yes.
Which, that was the only essential oil that I had. Otherwise, I would have put something else in there. Oh, yeah. It's really strong, isn't it?
It's definitely, it'll
Anyways,
put more
this is your show.
Than you got.
This is your show, Steve. What's going on? What's up? What are you doing?
Well, no, thank you.
Tell us about it. I was going to see how far I go with that. Before you looked at me and was like.
Compared to last week's show.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Compared to last week's show.
This could be another one of those shows that, due to subject matter, parental discretion.
Look at a screenshot of that.
Oh my gosh! Have you seen the thumbnail?
Well, I'll show you that. Go ahead. Continue. Sorry, Steve.
I've got to see.
I am not a good guest to have on your show.
No, not really. No, I'm just
no. You're right. I'm an interruptus, domesticus, moronicus.
But hey, today I really need it, and if you this is the first time on my show, right, Tanner?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And to my
Tanner's
right,
from Kansas City.
Yes, he's from Kansas City.
Yes.
KC.
Woohoo!
The great state of Kansas.
We do not know if there's going to be a Kansas City Chiefs game. We don't know if there's going to be any sports at all.
There's not going to be any sports right now. Yeah, we don't know.
There's no Royals going on, and the city's about to be on 3 counties. I don't even know why. Okay, so I don't know how this is possible. I'm really learning how powerful the mayor of Kansas City, Missouri is, because he has enough influence that Kansas is actually going on lockdown in Wyandotte County too.
Schultz says last week was old news, Steve. We want new news.
Yeah.
New news?
So 3 counties are going in lockdown in the KC metro.
I got some news.
News.
Maybe it might be not new news.
New news?
Not new news.
Not new news.
But 4:30 does come twice a day.
Poo gammon, no new pudding.
I almost woke up at 4:30 today.
Well, and I did, and we'll get into that in just a minute.
Yeah. Had a real arm-biting nightmare. Man.
Yeah, this is going to probably be part 2, Steve.
In all seriousness. I mean, it was a serious deal. That's why you really needed us today.
Yes.
Anyways, but continue on with your entry.
And the last couple of days, I don't know what's going on, but the last couple mornings however you say it, I'm not mincing words here. But anyway, it's been really an interesting couple of, I don't want to say nightmares, but night terrors is what they call it. If you have PTSD, in which I do, by the way, I'm going to have some people on my show that are dealing with PTSD, but they also have an awareness program. It's called Impact 22, and it's the 22 part of that is 22. I think it's going down now, but 22 veterans a day are committing suicide due to PTSD, and it's not just. But it's not just. People don't understand. Some people don't understand. It's just not a military or,
no,
it's not.
People might have PTSD because of this coronavirus.
Yes,
and
that's
fear.
what I was just saying earlier.
And people might think, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal. That's not. They don't need. But to you, it's not that big of a deal. To somebody else, like before I had my emotional break, it was a nightmare.
Right.
It's like something out of a nightmare.
And when you've had childhood trauma, whether, like I was telling you last week about, I had, it was a strange childhood. But when I went to school,
They need to watch last week's show.
Yeah, you need to watch. You know what? I'm not going to get into last week's show because you need to see it again, and you need to get on to Axe Radio or Axe Media Group.
Axe Media Group on YouTube, and it'll be the one from the date this month. Let's see, so since today's the 23rd. It'll be the show from
the 16th,
7 days ago.
I think it's the 16th.
Yes, watch the show that broadcast on the 16th.
And that way, rather than me kind of going over it, I'll just kind of go into a part 2 of this. But PTSD is a serious situation, and now because of this coronavirus, it could double, and we don't want it to double.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And with soldiers and people that are just dealing with everyday traumas that happen when they were a child, like mine.
Yeah.
The night terror that
John. Sorry.
The night terror that I had, basically, and I hadn't had any in a little while, but the last couple of nights have just been unreal. And it's been with my dad, and I ended up waking up this morning. In that nightmare that I had, my dad was trying to attack me, and I was trying to fend him off, and I was going to go to his arm and bite his arm. Well, I did, but I woke up crying because I'm like, what in the world? I woke up with teeth marks in my arm. I actually was biting my arm.
Oh, was it hurt? That's what woke you up, wasn't it? Biting your own arm.
Biting my own arm is what woke me up, and of course Rachel's like, what's going on? What's going on? And I told her, and I just couldn't get back to sleep, and I said, I definitely need to come into the studio this morning because I really need the camaraderie, however you say that.
Yeah.
Camaraderie. You know what I'm saying.
Camaraderie?
Yeah.
Camaraderie?
Yeah.
Artery. It's good for your arteries.
Yeah, thank you, Tanner.
It's internet for your arteries. Camaraderies.
Exactly. But I of course I didn't know anything. That I didn't know Jay was not going to be here, but I did need I knew Johnny was going to be here, and I just needed friendly faces. I needed to laugh today, and that we did on the morning drive.
Yeah, that was something else.
But
he actually got a new job at a grocery store.
Really? Cool.
Grocery stores are hiring like crazy right now.
On the spot in Kansas City, actually.
Yeah, and I guess another major retailer is hiring up to 150,000.
Really?
And I don't know because they've cut way back on their hours. I don't know. I'm assuming that just means they're either stocking or they're cleaning. Now for Rachel, she works where she works at. They're actually deep cleaning. They're not doing anything but deep cleaning.
Yeah, that's all they do at most places now. I mean, like no standard, not the old standards. Like you bleach everything.
Right. If you don't see a cloth in somebody's hand, you're seeing Lysol or you're seeing something disinfectant of some sort in their hands.
Yeah.
And that never used to be the thing. It should be an automatic thing anyway. You should be wanting to sanitize anyway. You should be wanting to do the basics of washing your hands with soap and water.
Don't touch your face like I'm doing right now.
Yes, it's called being nervous. Sometimes you're nervous and you start touching your face. You don't.
Or you got an itch. It's
right.
hard. And a lot of times I'm doing it and I don't even realize it.
Right.
I got taking my glasses off, rubbing the bridge of my nose.
It's hard because we express ourselves so much with our face.
And now, because we've been so used to it, now everybody's like freaking out, going, "Oh, you touched your face," or
I'm a beard stroker.
Unfortunately, people are making kind of like jokes, and really, this is not a joking matter. But when people are sneezing, there's a thing on Facebook where somebody sneezes. And
all right, so
anyway, it's just unreal.
Okay, so Dennis Everson's post. And I'm gonna sing part of this. You can sing this to the tune "Know When to Hold 'Em." You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to mask 'em, know when to stand 6 feet away, and know when to run. You never touch your face when you're sitting at the table, and you better wash your hands after everything you've done. Sorry. Good job.
Thank you, Dennis. I really needed that.
Julie says fellowship. It's a bunch of cons that are roadie. I don't know what that means. Yeah, Matt, laugh out loud. Jonathan Kretzman says someone on the show was looking like that, having a bad time with it on Friday. It looked like they were having a bad time with it on Friday. What? Touching their face? Or what?
I don't know, because I was here, but I wasn't on. Somebody was touching their face.
You were here. You were right there.
Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Friday morning?
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about later on.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, this thing's digging into my back.
Yeah. Maybe you're talking about me. I don't know. But no, I think I didn't really start having that problem until...
My hunting knife.
Yes. Well, hey, if you don't have the other piece, you got the knife.
Well,
yes.
Sorry. I mean, it's always. I have ADD. It's always good to have a good blade.
Yeah.
Not for defense necessarily, but you never know if you need one.
Yeah.
If you get it's always good to keep a blade in your car, within reach, so that way, let's say you need to cut the seatbelt, and I'm not talking about one of those $10 knives that have the little hook on the end of it. Those don't work.
No.
And you got to make sure they're sharp enough to cut through nylon.
Exactly.
But then there's also if something you break down, worst case scenario, and people think I'm paranoid about this. Worst case scenario, you break down, you're out in the middle of nowhere, you have no way to get in touch with anybody. It's cold outside.
It sounds familiar, doesn't it?
You can start a fire if you need to. Build a fire and start it. A blade like this, you could actually split little. Yeah, that you can chop with that.
Yep.
It makes julienne fries.
Amen.
Anyways, I have wax on that one, though, because it's what do you call that? It's Damascus Steel, so.
Oh, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. See the lines? That's where they folded it while they were making it.
Wow.
Yeah, see? Hey, you know what? Go ahead, continue. I totally interrupted and took over your show again.
That's okay.
But I'm just going to show people the pattern on this.
You're a
Ready?
humble man, Steve.
See that?
Thank you, Tanner.
That's actual Damascus, and you can see it's shiny because I have wax on it. Because I don't want it
It
to
is
rust.
a beautiful grain on that knife.
It's, handcrafted, probably in China. But I don't
So
know.
if you want one just like that, get a hold of Matt, and he'll be glad.
No, because I don't make the knives. I buy them. I wanted to get into blacksmithing and make knives, but it's so expensive to get into it.
Yes.
To
By the
buy
way-
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't know, Steve, if you're watching, but I know he had to cut his, he had to stop his carving class, and I
Yeah,
don't
he was
know.
pretty sad about that, but he says his carving knives are very sharp.
It's generally not good to pause in the middle of a sentence at the word cut.
Well, like you heard on the Morning Mouth with Johnny Rooster and Pastor Matt, Pastor Matt was talking about the horses farting in his face when he walks by.
Yeah, see?
Anyways, continue. What were you saying?
Just like some of
Wait,
the
what was that?
corny stuff that happened to me when I was a kid. Tanner, you know what I'm going to say. I'm getting locked in a mall in Michigan when I was 14 years old at Christmas time. The mall was shut down because of the winter storm, and
You were locked in the mall?
I was actually locked in a mall.
Did they give you free food?
No, I mean, everybody was gone. I mean,
You were there by yourself?
I was there with the security guards, and that was it.
Awesome.
That was so cool.
I bet it was. That sounds like, you know, you have a lock-in at church. Have you ever had one of those?
Oh, yeah. I used to be in charge of those.
Those are fun.
Yep, Church Commando. That's a cool game.
Yeah. I actually won, but nobody knew because nobody ever found me.
Really?
We played hide and seek in this huge church, and I went into this dark supply room. Everybody else, other people went in there to hide, and they were found, but not me. And here's why. I was wearing a black shirt and dark jeans, and I sat on the floor, Indian style, and put a box over my head and just did this. And sat there right in the middle in the open. Nobody found me. Nobody. To the point where they were done for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, why isn't it? I got out. They had played twice, and no one ever found me. I was just sitting there the whole time like this for like 45 minutes.
Because it was so dark?
No, I was just like, and it was like that.
Well, you know,
nobody found me.
That's a really you're giving a lot of kids some ideas of hide and seek now. So
I'm being inspired.
Well, if you hide out in the open, people don't think to look in the open.
Yes.
They think of looking in the corners and, you know, go
or
out.
behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors, behind closet doors, anything behind anything to hide you. I was out just in the open with a cardboard box just on my head like this, and I just looked like a pile of stuff in the middle of the room.
That I got to remember that. Oh, of course,
I'm like a chubby ninja.
Oh,
that was really funny. That was priceless. What we did on the show this morning.
Yes,
go back and watch the morning drive this morning if you didn't.
That was classic.
We're gonna do it again too. Well, maybe not this second. We don't want to overdo it.
No, there's a right time to do it.
Yes.
And today, and then the snap of the finger.
Oh yeah, snap the finger and the crickets
stop.
Yeah, just like on happy days, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, those were the days, weren't they? Those days are coming back again, folks.
Yes.
Do not fret. Do not fear. God said we don't have a spirit of fear, but of a sound mind.
Perfect love casteth out fear.
That's right. So
it cast it out. Perfect love casteth out.
We are in a season right now, folks. This is what Brighter Living Live is all about. Is just
not just brighter living, but looking on the brighter side.
Exactly.
You know, the brighter side of life. There's a silver lining on every cloud.
There is.
You know, it may take you a while to find it.
And we may dance in the rain as well.
And then we might get institutionalized after that. But still.
Wow.
Dancing in the rain's fun. I actually wrote a song while standing in the rain. You know what the name of the song was?
You weren't singing, were you?
Cleansing Rain is the name of the song.
I
didn't bring my guitar. I'd sing it for you.
What about Healing Rain?
Healing Rain? That could be something we could write while you're down.
Yeah, we have like 30
Actually, it's
days,
already taken.
Yeah.
Michael W. Smith.
So you'll be hearing some songs by Tanner and myself throughout these next 4 weeks. You ready? You nervous?
It would really take a big box now.
Are you saying I got a big head, Steve? It was just over my head. It wasn't over my body. It was just over my head.
Steve, you really know when to hold them.
And know when to punch them.
Yeah. And then I've got so many cool stories, but, I had to tell my testimony last week. There was a reason behind it.
Yeah. Go back and watch that show. It's really, 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 really great show. It was on the 16th of last week. It's actually probably up on our axmediagroup.com website.
Right.
Let me double check and make sure while you continue talking anyways.
And I just figured with everything that's going on, sometimes it doesn't hurt to bring a little laughter, and because laughter can bring strong medicine, is strong medicine. And some of the things that I went through when I was a kid that was pretty comical, and so it wasn't all doom and gloom for me when I was a kid.
Yep, it is on there. Brighter Living Live.
Right. The testimony show is what Dr. Jim calls it.
Yeah. Yeah, the testimony show. And then we also had one that said, love your neighbor no matter what. Is that it? Because Johnny Rooster was here too, right?
Yes.
Sitting right there.
Yeah.
And then Jay was sitting right there. And I was wearing the blue shirt.
Right.
Let me see where that's from. I believe that's it. It's a great show.
And so you'll the drama that I told you about that I can actually do it for you, but I don't know if we could actually do it on the show because of it being copywritten. The song. I don't know if we can do that.
But did you have rights to perform it?
Yes.
If you have rights to perform it, you probably still do.
Okay. Well,
we'll talk to Jim about it because that's something I think I really want to see it, and I really want other people to see it too. And we've got the
room,
and we've got the equipment to record it.
Yep. So I think, and it actually the drama is not only that, but it also shows what I went through in real life. You know, with me being as sick as I was, it also shows the sin in our life. You know, we're bound to a wheelchair. We're bound to our sins. And then when Jesus spiritually when he heals us in a spiritual sense or physical sense, we come out of that wheelchair as though, we're happy. We're glad that Jesus healed us. But at the same time, spiritually speaking, he healed us spiritually so that we can yet live eternally. So,
well, these are rough times we're going through, and we all need to stick together. We need to come together as Americans and stay 6 feet apart. Like last night on Dad's show or Veterans Church,
right?
Like we're like sitting like pointing each other this way, and I'm right in the middle, and we're playing guitar and stuff. And I'm like, we're just showing you how not to be.
Right.
But I mean, I guess I could have set the camera back further, and we could have been further apart. But
right.
It's hard. It's hard. It's difficult.
Yeah, it is. And what we see, because we've been so used to being so close knit, and like you said last week, I want to hug you, but we know we can't at this point. Like remember we talked about hug like Dennis. Well, we can't do that right now. But you know what? We know that if we feel that way, that's what matters. Is we know each other's hearts.
It's rough.
Yeah.
If you got somebody, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's interesting that there's so many things that people just took for granted before that they're actually wishing they could do now, and so you're seeing a lot of change in character.
Well, all right.
Wait till this is all over with. I think there's going to be a big difference in a lot of things that's going to be happening.
My pastor from First Baptist Church did a sermon one time about giving thanks and praising God.
Right.
And he said, imagine if, let's say, you thank God for everything you could think of, but the next day anything you didn't thank God for you didn't have. Can you imagine waking up with no toilet paper? That was part of his sermon. Irony! Now people are...
Wait, how long ago was this?
This was about...
It was prophetic. That's
2 months, 2 or 3 months ago.
Wow.
It's a prophetic sermon. God's
I was talking... I'm making it a point to talk to people,
right.
In the stores and stuff. Whenever I go, I stay farther away from them, but I make it a point to try and make them laugh or smile.
Right.
And because, I think that we really, really need that right now.
It was brought up, I was listening to another Christian radio station this morning, and the female was talking about how there's some online educational things going on, and and what she was trying to say is you got to instill things into your children to where they'll remember this, but at the same time, if you want them to remember the good times, don't stress out if they don't want to learn right now, because a lot of things are going on where teachers are going online to teach their kids, but parents are automatically, you're getting this thing where parents are now going to be homeschooling their kids.
Yep.
And you want them to remember the good times, not how stressed out they were because they felt like they had to learn. Instill things into their lives where you're teaching them parental guidance and giving them parental guidance rather than saying, well, you have to do this math homework right now.
Right.
I was gonna say, like, that's just the thing with me is like
You've been homeschooled for what, the last 5 years?
I'm not an unschooler by any means. I believe education is very good, but I do have an understanding with everybody that I don't think that it's right to be. I think that it's right for people to be more understanding whenever kids are having a harder time because they have a lot that they have to deal with right now.
Right.
And some of the educational things are actually going to make them even more stressed, which is adding to anxiety, which doesn't help anything.
That's what she was saying. If you're watching
Life skills,
Mom,
your
Dad,
wife says.
Huh?
Your wife says life skills.
That's right.
And teaching life skills at this point is more important than educational. Not that education.
Teach people how to cook, like really cook, not like microwave.
That is educational, though.
And you know what? It is educational. Those are the things that are going to be more important. And when everything settles down and we all go back to what the normal is, or what the new normal will be, these kids are going to remember what their mom and dad taught them versus how miserable they were because they had math homework being crammed down their throat.
Yeah.
And I believe that whenever this is over, in the next couple of years, we are going to be stronger as a nation. Because it really is. It's bringing conservatives and liberals together.
That's right. And anybody who's talking about politics right now, I don't care who they are. I've had two different people from completely different worldviews, people I agree with generally and people that I generally disagree with, talk about politics, and I tell them the same thing. I'm like, this is not a time to talk about politics.
I've done the same thing.
This is a time to come together and unite.
Yes.
This is not, you know what? Who cares about what the politicians are doing with Trump? This isn't a time to talk about that. This is us as a civilization. We are to unite as people and come together and help.
Until you find out the Democrats are blocking the economic stimulus.
That did not.
That economic stimulus is needed. I work, so if I don't get one, I'm okay. But there are people that need that stimulus check in order to survive through this. Not just survive, but because then whenever this is all over with, then you've got late fees and things like that, and you're way behind on your credit card payments, your whatever payments you have.
Right.
So then there's going to be a crash if we don't get this stimulus package. Now, are there going to be people that take advantage of it? Yes.
There might already be a crash despite that, but it'll be worse it'll be worse in people's lives.
Landlords, I know that there are now utility companies
they're not allowed to cut off power or evict people.
But you are supposed to call them and let them know, hey, let's work out. They are willing to work with you as far as a payment plan. Yeah. Just don't say, well, because of this.
Don't take advantage of it and say, well, I'm not paying it since I don't have to. If you can pay it, pay it.
My landlord, or Rachel and I's landlord, said, you know what, we understand the situation, so we're willing to work with you. And when they say they're willing to work with you, work with them because they're willing to work with you.
Yeah, and
because they're going through a hard time too.
Every business is,
because they've got lights that they got to take care of.
Absolutely, they got families they got to take care of. Plus, how many other people are stiffing them on the rent just because they can now? So folks, be moral about it.
Really, seriously, we love you, we care about you, but care right now. Take that extra time and care about your fellow man.
No, you're good.
And fellow person,
fellow man and woman.
And we might joke around and have fun, but in reality, we need to love each other at this time.
Yes, absolutely.
And
that
care and do it. And even it's a virtual hug.
That's my mantra right now. Love your neighbor as yourself.
And folks, when they store things back when they stock things back in the store, they are limiting things.
Yes. Justifiably so.
And they're doing that specifically because of what happened in the past.
Yeah.
Now they're and it's not their fault.
And people are getting mad, but you know what? So I went to like I told you earlier, I went to a very prominent sporting goods store yesterday to get some ammo. I didn't want to buy a crap ton of ammo. I wanted to buy enough to where, I don't think it's going to come down to where we have to hunt for our own food. No. But if it comes down to it, I mean, I'd be irresponsible if I didn't plan a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, so I got 100 rounds of 22 LR hollow points, the cheapest, and then I got stuff for my hunting rifle, and then shotgun shells. I'm not one of these guys that stockpiles guns and ammo and says, I got 2,000 rounds of it. If you're at a position where you need more than 100 rounds at one time, you're probably screwed anyways. Anyways, they would let you only have 3 boxes.
Right.
Not of each. 3 boxes total.
That's because people are buying those out too, because they're worried about panic in the streets.
And this is the other thing. Somebody brought this up to me the other day, and I don't know. You'll probably guess the movie. I'm not going to obviously say the name of the movie, but it stars Charlie Sheen and Patrick Swayze, I think. And it was a movie about how this town got invaded and how it was the end time and they ran to the mountains and they were all hunting. And everybody was for themselves. It's not, you
Talking
know,
about the Red Dawn
Yes, exactly. Hello.
with Patrick Swayze?
Yep, Patrick. And wasn't
They had a new one that came out with
that was
something Hemsworth or
yeah,
whatever
you
his
know
name.
what? That wasn't
Thor.
good. The original, but the reason I didn't want to mention the name is because I thought I was trying to be careful as far as, rights and stuff with the
Wolverine! Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so
But that movie, people are actually going, do you think it's going to come to the Red Dawn? It's like, no.
No, they're not stupid because, like, the Japanese, they asked one of the guys that was head over all that, why didn't you go ahead and invade the United States? And he said, well, because there would be a gun behind every blade of grass.
Exactly. And they knew that. So now they're trying to say it's a conspiracy or it's a China is really upset at some sort of not arms deal, but they were really upset
the
at
trade
something.
deal.
The trade deal. That's
Yeah,
what it
because Trump held them accountable and told them
so now
being
they're
unfair.
getting back at us, and that's why
And
they're
then you
calling
have
it the
people-
China virus. And
Then you have people that say that the reason they're doing it is because, in China they were protesting,
right.
waving American flags and chanting Trump, Trump, Trump.
they were, but that was because he was actually for their liberty.
Yeah, yeah. So is it that? I don't know.
That's
Can
what
you
I'm saying.
blame them?
No. So when I heard that, I was like, no.
Now they're saying it's racist to call it the China virus.
It's not. It originated in China, just like the German
Measles.
Yeah,
German
exactly.
measles. Yeah, it's not racist. Now, COVID-19, all right, that means China origin. So it's an acronym, meaning that it's in the 19 means it's the 19th one that's originated from China.
That's what I remember reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there's a second huge strain that's just come out, so we can pray about that in China. And it's not. I don't think it's prominent here yet, but it has. There's a second strain of the virus that they've discovered. So
Let's just hope that it.
let's just
keep our eye, pray on it.
Pray on exactly. We need to pray on that it doesn't go as far as the first one did because
I don't think we need to be anxious about it because worrying doesn't change anything.
no.
it's gonna happen. If
That's
it's gonna
my boy.
happen, it's gonna happen. Yep, like father, like son, like I
One
said.
thing that we can do too is any local business, any small business that's open right now,
Support them.
support them.
Exactly.
Because I've been saying this since before they even did it because we could see the shutdowns coming from far off at this point, especially up in KC.
Right.
But supporting the small and local businesses because I've been saying that they're going to start laying people off if they have to shut down or only go halfway, they're going to have to start laying people off, right?
Right.
And I was in a stop on the way here, and I overheard this guy talking to the guy at the counter, and he said, "Yeah, we're laying a lot of people off at our work, so I'm just glad to be working right now." So, supporting any local businesses and small businesses.
Believe me, mom and pop businesses sometimes are the bread and butter that if it wasn't for them, I don't think a lot of us would be able to really make it.
Yeah.
Sure.
President Trump met with all the a lot of the smaller business owners via phone call, by a conference call, and he said he referred to it as the motor that runs the machine.
Right.
It really is.
Yeah, yeah.
Because small businesses are there for a reason, and because the big major retailers, if they're not there, or a lot of them are going online, not the mom and pops, they're still staying open, but you don't see them going online. But it's because the major retailers, they don't need them anymore, and that's what it's going to, is the major retailers are leaving the brick and mortar and going and click and mortar, or click and however you say it. But but with small businesses, they
especially the ones that make stuff, the smaller businesses generally take more pride in what they do, and it's usually better made.
Yep.
Yeah, and help people. If you have a ton of stuff, if you stocked up, you need to help people because, listen, I come from a family that's got 5 people in it, including myself, and I know that takes a lot of toilet paper, and it takes a lot of food, and they're buying everything out, and it's been hard for us to find stuff. And so if you know somebody who's in a situation or just doesn't have what they need, you need to help them. Not only that, is God blesses generosity. I'm not saying that you're going to have it easy if you are generous. I'm saying that God will bless you for it, though. Yeah. And God will sustain you no matter what.
God will bless you for that. And,
so to have faith.
Did you see this on Facebook where somebody actually had a table out in the front yard and had groceries and said...
Toilet paper, said take what you need, yeah.
And see, you never saw that 2-3 months ago, 6 months ago.
Well, I mean, if you did, it was just a fluke. They don't show that on the news.
Right.
Can you imagine how much credit people are spending? I'm no genius, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot less money than what people have actually been spending on all this stuff. I don't think everybody could afford to stockpile on that many groceries and that many...
Yes.
That many groceries and that...
He was reading a message.
Oh.
And that many...
Supplies?
Yeah.
Well, your groceries, yeah. Well, they come and they stock up. I mean, I saw people with carts in the beginning, carts upon carts of toilet paper, and I get it. You don't want to get stuck without toilet paper.
Oh, that's a vital need.
Well, there's a guy that spent money and got like thousands upon thousands of bottles of hand sanitizer and tried selling them for $50 to $70 a piece. He's in trouble.
Yeah, he's gone. In fact, he ended up saying
that's illegal.
He ended up having to donate. I guess he was told he needed to do something, so he was donating it to another cause.
Yeah, either donate it or get in trouble for price gouging.
And here's the other thing. I want to say the price there's price gouging there. Oh, the toilet paper. This lady actually came in front of another small store and got all the toilet paper that they had just boxes and boxes and loaded up. And this lady was actually videotaping this, where this lady was saying, mind your own blankety business. You don't know what you're talking about, that type of thing. Well, she was actually her and her husband or whoever it was loading
them into a truck.
Loading them into a truck. And I'm thinking, well, if the manager of this store was letting her do this, she should have went around and back and did it more privately rather than in front where everybody could see and what she was doing. I mean, she actually had cases. It's almost like instead taking it right off the truck and putting it in this.
They were taking it off the truck.
Yeah.
They were taking it off the truck and putting it in their personal vehicle. Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just,
that's folks, not loving your neighbor. I'm very adamant about this, folks. And look, I'm doing the clap thing. I'm very adamant. Love your neighbor as yourself. Don't take everything on the shelf. If you see something that has 2 on the shelf and that's it, take 1, leave the other one.
That's what I did yesterday.
If you see 10 things on the shelf, take 1 or 2. Don't take. You got to leave stuff for other people. You're literally. I understand you want to feed your family. Got it. That's important. But do you want to sit there and watch your neighbor starve to death? I mean, it's not down to that yet. It's not that bad yet.
Right.
But still, there are people that are trying to just get their regular groceries that can't because there's nothing there. Now, I will say I went to a
yes.
it's a retail store, and then it also has grocery stores also, and they're green. Anyways, I went there, and there's still tons of food there. Mm-hmm. Now, like the unperishable staples like beans and rice and stuff, those are all gone, and because as soon as they add them to the shelf, they're taken off.
Exactly. I just happened to go get a roll of toilet paper at this other store.
That's true. And I do need to ease up a bit. It is your show. Sorry.
And who was that?
Don't worry about it. Sorry.
Okay. It doesn't matter. Thank you for whoever said that. It's okay because it's a roundtable discussion.
I'm very passionate about this.
You know, I look
loving
at it
your
this
neighbor.
way. Right now, it's our show, not just...
No, it's your show. I do need to ease up and let you do your show.
But I think that...
Because your guest wasn't able to make it today. So.
Right. And I think from this point on until this thing eases over, I don't think the guests will... I'm just not going to even plan on having any
understandable.
Guests.
Yeah.
Totally understandable.
And I think we need to have a roundtable discussion, and I need to be maybe head of that roundtable discussion. But I think it's okay to show your opinions and or tell us your opinions and that. And that's what
need to get a roundtable.
Here,
Sorry, go ahead.
A rectangle discussion.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's a rectangle discussion.
Right now, it's
You
a
get a
triangle.
roundtable.
Triangle table.
We'll get a whole bunch of night costumes.
Right.
Just sit
man.
here.
And I'm going to lay my sword right there. No. I do want to be serious about, folks. We're here for you. If you have any questions, you have any prayer requests, you have things that you would like to have me talk about at least right now, but prayer requests are really important right now. I will pray for you, and if we need to, if you need instant prayer, we will all sit here and agree, and we will pray for you. And I'm being serious about that. Yeah. So right now, I think we need to have that, and I don't mind one bit. I am an ordained minister. I might as well be preaching and teaching the word as well.
Yes. Well, that's what we need to be doing.
And it's not about ordination, it's about serving God.
It's about serving God.
God's the one that ordains us.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of things that this is forcing us to do as the church too, is it's forcing us to grow and see scripture in a new light. And I would even say in a light of more faith. Mm-hmm. It's forcing us to see the scripture in the deeper light of faith than the comfortable that we're used to, because everything's just changing. I mean, you really don't know what tomorrow's going to hold. We would say that, but we are always expecting a predictable thing. You have a schedule, you're just so used to it. You get so comfortable, Yep. But it's not scriptural to just stay. It's scriptural to grow. It's not scriptural to not be content or happy with what God has given you or thankful, but it's not scriptural to not be that way is what I'm saying.
I know what you mean.
But this is really forcing us to grow in our faith. I've said that this time has been the most trying. This has been probably one of the most trying things on my faith that has happened, because everything that's part of my support system is just a lot of things that were huge parts have been just shutting down. No church, no CYT, so the support system is just starting to break down, and it's it forces you to look to God more and truly adhere to the scriptures by faith and not by comfort or by sight. You know what I mean?
It's almost time to get out of here, but I just wanted to leave you with a thought.
Already? Wow.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it? I just wanted to let you know that if you're dealing with PTSD, you're dealing with any kind of issue along that line, whatever the issue may be, please let us...
There's a Veterans Crisis Hotline.
Yes, and that's 800...
273-8255, extension 1.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure if you're not a veteran, they'll still talk to you.
I'm sure that they won't let you not get off the phone. They'll still be willing to talk to you.
800-273-8255, extension 1. That's 800-273-8255.
And my
extension
brothers in
1.
arms, whether you're veterans or you're active duty, God loves you for who you are. You're saving this. You're actually part of taking care of this country by putting your life on the line. And just remember that your family loves you. God loves you. We love you. And with that, I guess it's time for me to say goodbye until next week. God bless you. And may brighter days be ahead for you and your family. Take care.